Hey guys, gals, and MBs. So I have the Summit here, and we're going to make a really lovely patch. I think it's probably one of the best ones I've ever made on the Peak or Summit. This will work on both of them. The controls are going to be obviously a little different, but the value should be the same. It's only going to use a single mode on this. It's going to only use the low pass filter, so you should be able to do this on your Peak as well. I have some notes here, so yeah, we're going to go over the patch that I made. It took me a little bit of doing, but yeah, I will start. Let's just get started here. So we're going to make an init patch, and we can do that over here. So we get a nice init patch. And it's only going to use one oscillator, but we're going to use the wavetable oscillator in one of the built-in ones. So go over here to the wave. As you see here, I now have the screen on any of the synths I'll do is right in the center of the screen, so nobody can complain about that. And we're going to go to more. We're going to use wavetable oscillators. We're going to go over here. Let me make sure I can actually see this okay. Yeah, you can. All right, we're going to find the one that is called thicker. So let's go. It's going to take me a second. Thinner, tides, thicker. All right. We're going to change here to the, let's do the oscillator section. So we want to change the pitch LFO of that. So you want to go over here to pitch, which goes to LFO2. You want to turn it to around 17. As you can see here, it's already a patch I've made, so you can see the value. So that'll sound like this. See, that's already sounding lovely, and we haven't really done too much with it. So, and we want to set LFO2's rate while we're here. So let's see. LFO2 is, wow. Yeah, so I'm still getting used to this synth. And I made this about a week ago, so just bear with me really quick. Oh, it's right up here. So is this LFO2? Yep. So we're going to change the rate to 107, so right around here. And by default, it is set to triangle, so yeah, just keep it as a triangle. You can hear a little bit of pitch modulation there. All right, let's go ahead and mess with the filter and envelopes. So let's go ahead and turn off key tracking all the way. So key tracking needs to go to 0 right here. So we have no key tracking. And we need to make sure we're in the 24 dB filter, but in your normal init patch, it already should be set that. And we want to set the filter to around 152, which is right up here. So right around there. It doesn't matter. Just get it close enough to 152. So like right here. I got it exactly. It sounds very dull, but we're going to use some envelope on that. So we want to set the depth of the envelope to 28, I believe. Yes, we sure do. So here we go. And we want to set some overdrive. We want to set it to about 78. We're going to kind of slam the filter a little bit here. So right around here. Cool. And now we want to set the resonance up, so we get it to be a little bit more brasher, like harsher. So let's do that. So resonance is here. We want to set to around 54. Setting the resonance to 54. All right, and let's go ahead and shape the amp and filter envelope. Let's start with the amp envelope. So we want the attack to be a little there, so about 4 or 5, because we don't want it to be too clicky. And then we want to set the decay to around 71, which is here. We want to set the sustain to a 71 as well. So decay and sustain the same on the amp envelope. And then we want to have the release at pretty high, right around 90, 98, 97, 98. We have that filter kind of clamping down on us, but we're going to change that right now. So filter needs to have an attack of 0. It has to have a decay of around 28. That's where I seem to like it. So right here. I'm going to have the sustain up at 98 just like the amp. So and we want the release like pretty high up, 90. Let's just call it 90. Isn't that gorgeous? It's such a nice sounding filter, especially when you overdrive it and just slam it and give it quite a bit of resonance. Well, I mean, I guess it's not quite a bit, but it's some, for sure. It's a bit more than a lot of people use in patches, but yeah. And now we're going to have some fun with shaping some effects and some stereo spread. So let's add some pan spread, and I believe that is in the voice and filtering menu. So we go to voice filter. Yeah, it is. So we want to set that to diverge 2. So you go down here to the spread mode, and you want it in diverge 2. If you don't have a diverge 2 or you don't have a spread mode like this, that means you're on an old firmware. Get a new firmware. This will definitely work on the Peak as well. And my Summit came with a very early firmware. I had to update it. So just make sure you update it if you don't have that. So now we want to turn the spread up to 105. This is kind of like the pan spread that I always do on sequential synths. I hope you're listening to it in stereo now. Now, the reverb section, which is absolutely stunning on the Summit and Peak, I believe it sums to mono, but that's kind of something we want in this case, because I kind of want to collapse that stereo field and add an additional stereo field to it. It's going to sound really interesting and cool. Yeah, I'm just having a little bit too much fun with that. So go into the FX section. So we're now in the FX section. We want to find the routing, go down to the routing, and we need to change that to CDR. So basically chorus goes into delay, it goes into reverb. Keep the settings default here, 127, 127 should just be fine. And let's add some delay. So let's add, what did I do for delay? We have the level on the delay over here at 73. Time can be whatever, but I had it for 57. You can even tempo sync this, so you can, you know, set a sync on it if you're going to use it like in the ARP or something. And you want to set the feedback fairly high up. We're going to set it to around 75, so we want to get some nice feedback going. The subtle LFO on the pitch for the first oscillator is just really nice with the delay. All right, and let's go to one of my favorite things, which is the reverb. So we want to go into the FX section first for the reverb. We want to make sure we go over here until we find the reverb section, and we want to set the pre-delay to nothing. We also want to go over here. I think, did I set some modulation? I did. So let's go ahead and turn up the modulation. So I think the depth, yeah, let's see. The depth, oh, I guess I didn't really set any modulation on this. That's fine. But what we do want to do is go over here and change the size. Let's go here. Reverb size. Oh, it's set to 90. All right, that's fine. And then over here, you want to set the size to 3. Oh, did I actually set it that low? I guess I did. That's fine. Let's just set it to 3 and set the size over here to 90. All right. And then now we want to turn up the level. We don't want too high, so we want to turn the level to around 38. And it'll sound subtle but nice like this. Oh yeah, there we go. If you can hear very carefully, you really have to listen for it. I'll stop talking in a second, but let me let you know what you're listening for. Listen to the stereo spread being collapsed by the reverb section, which I do believe collapses it to mono, and then it regains a stereo field on top of that. So it's like this. It's nice though. We also want to change the reverb time, set it pretty high up. Let's send it to like a 95 or so we get some more. So yeah, that's basically this patch. I call it Core Memories. It's just this really nice, horribly gorgeous patch. So yeah, I hope you liked it. I really do. It sounds great. It really shows what the Summit and the Peak and Extension can do, or the other way around, what the Peak can do and obviously the Summit can do in Extension. It's just a very simple patch. It uses one oscillator, one of the built-in wavetables. But it just sounds so nice. All right, yeah, that's basically it. Thanks for watching, and if you like this kind of content and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.